welcome back to our second class. The first lecture which I recorded was the first day of our IELTS crash course. Basically, I'm recording a crash course. It consists of 12 lectures. I will discuss each and everything regarding the IELTS in a little bit detail. Okay, so let's begin our class, which is day 2 of IELTS crash course, and that is with Hamza Habib Khan. Okay, so uh, in today's lecture, before starting, I'll discuss some few things, and that is language input and output. Basically, speaking and reading. Speaking and reading acts as an interpreter language. If you want to learn a new language, for that sake you must have to improve listening and reading. Improving listening and reading is the first thing. It's the first step. Okay, and if you have pretty much knowledge, pretty much grasp on the listening and reading skill, then you can do wonders in speaking and writing. And uh, listening and reading are also considered as a receptive skill, because we use our sensory organs, our sensory skills and sensory organs to learn it, to improve it. Well, as far as speaking and writing is concerned, so it also acts as an output, and it is also as productive skill. Okay, so one of my code is that you can't be a great speaker or writer unless you first master the art of listening and reading. Okay, uh, let me give you an example. You have just noticed that when a little newborn baby is trying to speak a language, your native language, first he will just listen to you guys, that how you guys are delivering something. He can't speak b- before he listens. Okay, so first he will listen, he will observe, and then after a certain time he will try to speak that words. Okay, so as I mentioned in this example, that listening is the key step, listening is the first step. So a lot of you guys have a common misconception, and a lot of majority of the students just come goes to the academy, attend the classes to have a good speaking skill, but they haven't done wonders in listening and reading. But I will mention and I will recommend you guys that before going to speaking classes, you first have to improve your listening and reading. Okay, so these are the two things that are very important. These two things plays a very vital role in learning any language, whether it is English, it is French, Italian, Greek, or anything else. You must have to command on listening and reading at first. Okay, uh, listening module. Talking about the listening module of the IELTS, that what are things that are essential, that matters, and what are the things that doesn't matter, they do not matter. Okay, so uh, first of all, spelling matters. The most important thing in the listening module is spelling. Okay, because a lot of task, a lot of sections is also related to this kind of things, in which the speaker or the audio which is played by the examiner will contain an audio, and that will have the answer with correct spelling. Okay, so you have to focus on the correct spelling for as far as the listening module is concerned. Okay, and capitalization doesn't affect your score, whether you write it in capitalized form, following the rules of capitalization while doing your listening module. So it's not necessary. Okay, and the other thing is that there is no negative mark looking for wrong answers. So I'll recommend you guys to go for each and every answer. Go for each and every answer, even though if you have doubt about that particular question, that particular answer. But all you guys have to do is just to go for the answers, go for the whole questions, attempt each and every question. Uh, I would just want you guys to I'll just want you guys to have to follow these steps which I'm delivering to you guys. Okay, so if you follow these tips, if you apply these steps, you will score some good colors in IELTS, and you will just ace the IELTS listening module. And that is the use reading time wisely. Okay, so in the listening module, you guys would be confused that I'm talking about the reading. So basically, in the IELTS exam, before attempting a certain section, before attempting a certain question, there will be certain guidelines, and there will be questions listed. So you will be given a little bit of time of 1 minute. Okay, so in that 1 minute, all you have to do is just to read that whole question completely, and then after that, the question that are enlisted in that question or in that section, you will have to read each of them thoroughly. So you will have a little bit of idea about the answers. But after listening to that audio, it will be easier for you guys to attempt all that questions. It would be easy for you to attempt it. um, like I would say that it would be easy for you guys to attempt all that question. Okay, so in that section you can score some good colors. Okay, and the other thing is that carefully analyze each question before answering. I've mentioned it earlier. Okay, and look for keywords. The most important thing, look for keywords. Okay, what is keywords? Keywords is something in the question that make it unique from the other one. Okay, then all you have to do is just to listen for that word in the audio. And if you hear that word in the audio, then you just at that point just try to be more focused, just try to be more focused at what comes over there. Just round about that word, that keyword, you will find your answer. Okay, and the other thing is that try to predict your answer. Okay, and that prediction should be based on the context. Okay, if this is a great technique, and if you did this, if you mastered this trick, you will score, believe me, you will score something about 7 and 8 band score. Okay, and uh, try to use synonyms effectively in your daily lives, in your school, in university, and your colleges. Okay, so it will just help you improving your vocabulary, enriching your vocabulary bank. Okay, and the other thing is that grasp the overall meaning of the conversation. Okay, and try to master it by listening to the news, listening to the comedy shows or the podcasts or the travel vlogs or the documentary in English on YouTube. So over there you would have the idea, you would take as meaning of the overall conversation, and it will helps you scoring some good colors in your IELTS exam. But before appearing in the IELTS exam, I would just recommend you guys just do these practices to improve your listening skill as a journal. If you are appearing in the IELTS exam, or either you are just improving your listening skill. So it is important for both. And as I mentioned, if you are the one who just want to improve their English, okay, for you guys, the first step is that improve your listening. Okay, and for improvement of the listening, listen to the English media continuously on daily basis. Surround yourself with the English media. Okay, and the other thing is that always stay one step ahead. It means that anticipate your next question. Okay, try to predict that what comes next. Okay, and uh, just um, just keep in your mind 2 or 3 questions at a time, so it would be easy for you guys to answer that and without skipping anyone. Okay, and the other thing is that use pencil for flexible note taking. Okay, so all you guys have to do is just to use a pencil, and that would be provided by your examiner at examination center. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, and the thing is that if you're appearing in the paper-based IELTS exam, okay, so you guys would be provided with a questions book, or I would say a sheet which would consist all the question. You will have to mark that question on the you will have to mark the correct answer on that questions book, and that at the end a specific time would be given to you guys, and that specific time, that will be just for a minute or 30 seconds. You will just try to shift your answer from that question book to your answer book. Okay, and you guys, the most important thing for you guys is to accent awareness. Okay, accent awareness comes like train your ears to different accents, whether they are North American, they're British, they're American. You guys should have a keen ear, or should have a knowledge of their accents. You guys should be used to these kind of accents, because in your IELTS exam, when that voice or that audio is played by the examiner, that can be in North American accent, that can be in a British accent, and that can be an Australian accent also. So you guys have to listens to that kind of particular media. Okay, like for North American, you should watch Canadian content, their FM radio, or their podcast, or anything else. For British, you should watch some Hollywood movies or anything else like that. And for accent, Australian accent, you should watch their content, their media. Okay, you should listen to them, and you will, in that way, it will help you train your ears. It will make your ears feel at home for that particular accent. And now I just want to talk about the type of listeners. Basically, in general, there are two types of listeners. One is active listeners, while the other is passive listeners. Okay, what active listener does? Okay, basically, active listener do is that they've just looking for particular and a specific information. So I would say that active listening do listening which is purpose based. Okay, and they are engaged throughout the communication, because they are looking for something special, something specific. Okay, so for that sake, they should be engaged throughout the whole session, throughout the whole conversation, and they are analytical. Okay, that will analyze the whole conversation, that from where it started, where it's going, and how it goes. Okay, and the other thing is that passive listener. Okay, what are passive listener? Passive listener will just listen to as a whole idea. Okay, they will just try to have the summary of the whole situation. Okay, they will not listen to each and every sentence, each and every information. They will just have the whole summary as a whole. Okay, and they will just hear without focusing. Like for example, I'll just say that we have all been familiar with the story of the thirsty crow. We have listened it from our teacher. We have listened it from our parents or anybody else other than other than them. Okay, so in that story, if someone says that, what's the main idea of this story? The main idea of this story is that that if you work hard for the achievement of the goal, if it is difficult or looking impossible for you guys, it would be possible when you does a hard work. Okay, so the thing is that I just mentioned in a line the whole story. Okay, and even though if I missed a little bit of the detailing, that how the crow gathered the stones and from where he just picked up that stones, and how he put it in the jar or in that particular thing. So I just mentioned the whole sense, the whole story in online. I didn't mention the particular thing. So it's kind of a quality of the passive listeners. Okay, so they'll just not focus on the whole story. They'll just give their desired idea, the idea which they want, and then they'll deliver that. Okay, uh, listening can be targeted for specific information. Like for example, if you're watching to a news headline and you are looking for the news regarding, nowadays it's just going the world champion legends final, semi-final, which is between Pakistan and India champions. So uh, like for example, you're looking for that news in the news headline, you will just turn on your TV, you will listen to the whole news headline, but you will just you will just target that specific information which is regarding the cricket match of Pakistan and India. So you will listen the whole news headline, but you will be looking for that particular information, that not to miss that. Okay, so in this example, you are listening for specific information. Okay, and the other thing is that listening for central ideas. Like for example, you're watching a movie or a drama or anything else. Okay, anything else like that. So you're watching it for having that central idea, that message they are delivering to you guys. Okay, so you will not just mention each and every bit of detail, you will just have the central idea. Okay, and the other thing is that uh, listening can be for targeted for implied meaning. Okay, so before getting into it, what is implied meaning? Implied meaning are that the text or that situation is not delivered directly. Okay, that information is not delivered directly, the information will be delivered indirectly. Okay, uh, like for example, if I say that uh, uh, I am ill and I cannot go to school. Okay, so the implied information in this sense that I will be absent from school. Okay, I didn't have mentioned that I'm absent from school today, but implied information from that text, from that context I have gained is that I will be absent today. Okay, so that's the thing regarding the implied meaning. And not talking about the listening type, listening can be intensive listening and listening can be extensive listening. Okay, intensive listening are like is done by the active listeners. Okay, they will have to participate actively, they will just listen to each and everything in detail actively. While as far as extensive listening is concerned, so in extensive listening is like it will encourages your passive listening. Okay, like for example, it will make overall understanding. Okay, so extensive listening is done by the passive listeners, and intensive listening is done by the active listeners. Okay, power of listening in the language mastery. Okay, as I have mentioned it earlier, that for learning of any language, the first step is that improving your listening. Okay, but effective listening is not just about hearing words, it's the gateway to deeper language acquisition. It sharpens your ability to recognize stress patterns. Okay, what are stress patterns? Okay, uh, if you have just watched to some English content, English media, or have watched some Hollywood movies, okay, over there, when they are talking, they would just give a stress on particular word, and will just softens a word in a flow. Okay, so stress pattern is like if you are delivering a sentence, okay, and you are stressing on a simple word, on a single word in that sentence. So uh, it is important for you guys to recognize and to know that on which word I have to stress and on which word I have not to stress. Okay, and that thing will comes by listening on daily basis. Okay, and the other thing is that catch annotations. Okay, annotation is means that the rise and fall of the sound, the rise and fall of the tune throughout the conversation or anything else. Okay, and listening will also help you expand your vocabulary. Listening would also help you sensing some emotions. Okay, that, like for example, if you're watching to a movie, okay, and that movie consists of some like I would say some sad scenes, some happy scenes, some emotional scenes. Okay, so all you guys will just do eventually by listening is that how they act in that particular situation. Okay, and it will help you learning that thing also. Okay, uh, the the other tips which I would like to mention to you guys, that mastering these elements will enhance not only your IELTS performance but your overall communication fineness. Okay, so uh, the thing which I want to say is that these tips which I have mentioned, it will not just help you scoring some good bands in your IELTS exam, it will also helps you in improving your English communication. Okay, so all you guys have to do is just to uh, watch this video 2 to 3 times. Okay, and just go through each and every tip, each and every trick, and each and every detail. And after doing this, after implying all these steps and tricks, okay, you will have a good listening skill. Okay, and at the end, I would love to thanks to the Student Squad. Okay, Student Squad is a platform that is delivering lectures of some short courses at affordable price, or some lectures at free of cost, as this crash batch is free of cost, and I'm uploading this lecture on the YouTube. Okay, and you guys can also contact Student Squad for the full length IELTS course. Okay, what is full length IELTS course? Full length IELTS course will include some practice notes, some mock tests, and everything else as along with these lectures. Okay, so if you are interested in that thing, all you guys have to do is just to ping me on WhatsApp on this number as I mentioned, and follow us on WhatsApp channel, and do subscribe our YouTube channel, like this video, share this video to help more learner succeed. Okay, um at the end I would say, keep a good care of take a good care of yourself, more than yourself, the person who are related to you guys, whether they are your friends, they are your family, they are your neighbors, they are your um, colleagues or anything else. Just take a very good care of them too. Have a good day. Allah Hafiz.